And we are live. Let me just double check if we are live on my page. Are we, are we live? Ooh, are we live? Oh, we are live. Okay. We are live. Yes. Ooh, we are live. And good afternoon, good morning, good day to whoever is watching right now and those who are going to watch it on replay. Thank you for joining me here. Unfortunately, for those who will be commenting on I don't think I can see your comments. Let me just try to fix that. Let me see if I can. Hmm, Just give me 1 second so I can see if anyone's making comments. Uh, Apparently, I can't see comments from because this is broadcasting on my personal page and my business page. So, hello. Good afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon here in California. It's very cold, but it's okay. I'm good. Uh, and I know it's kind of Sunday morning in some parts of the world or evening in some parts of the world. So wherever you're at, I hope you're having a great day, enjoying your weekend or looking forward to your weekend, whatever the case may be. My name's Riza, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me in this broadcast. And I just want to go straight into what I have been kind of meditating on for the past few days. And like you can see it on my uh, topic title, it says, How Hungry Am I? And this is what it says. Okay, sorry about that. Internet's kind of wobbly, so hopefully, sorry about that. um, Probably because it's a little windy, but bear with me. Okay, I hope you get to understand what I'm saying. Anyways, um, I got this from a Proverbs that I was working on, meditating on, and this is what it says when I first read it on my Bible. And for you who ask, how do I study my Bible? I read a physical Bible. I have a physical Bible. This one. This was a gift to me by one of our young people a few years ago, and I read it. I put notes on it, so I always have my pencil. So I hope that helps you, kind of like, or encourages you, like, get myself a physical Bible, start reading and putting my notes on it, because you know what? When you go back to it, you'll be surprised on the things that God has revealed to you, the things that He told you while you were reading that, and it's going to help you. And this is one particular verse that kind of looks very ordinary to me, but I think I had to read it a few times, and then the light just came on, just like that. And it says here, a person who is full tramples on honeycomb, or you're full, you're not hungry anymore. But it says here, to a hungry person, any bitter thing is sweet. Wow. And as soon as I read that, the light just came on, and I wrote on my Bible next to it, I wrote, How hungry am I? How hungry am I? If I want to see change or something happen in my life, how hungry am I for that? That I am so hungry that even if something is bitter, I'm willing to swallow it and enjoy it like it's the sweetest thing in the world. Hunger. One of my business partners, Ronnie, says they have a term for it in their review for the accounting review. It says a burning desire. Some call it grit. Let's stick to hungry for now because that's what the Bible says, okay? How hungry are we? Now, when I double checked this with other versions of the Bible, this was another beautiful thing because sometimes, but that's the physical eating. But this is what it says in another version. A satisfied soul loathes the honeycomb, but to a hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. That's in the New King James Version. And I want you to just kind of marinate on that. How hungry is your soul? Your soul is your mind, your emotions, your decision. How hungry are you that you are going to train your mind, your emotions, and your decision every day to do whatever it takes for that change to happen, for what you want to see happen before your eyes. And as I was meditating on this, and you know that I am a business person in the digital world. I'm a digital business owner, and I was sharing with you the last time how I connect with some people. And something I observe is when they inquire about my business, so they would, message me and inquire about it or make a comment on my post. I would know right away if someone is hungry for change or not. Because even before the conversation's over, they provide me what they need. They want to see the they want to have access to our free workshop, our free webinar. They can't wait to watch it and see what the opportunity is all about because they are hungry for it. They want it right away. You don't even have to kind of go. They know they're just willing, and some of them they just go directly to my website and register their names and their email address to get a hold of the uh, workshop. That's how hungry they are. But there's a little bit more layers to it. So let's try to talk about that for a few seconds. I mean, for a few minutes. You know me, I don't talk in seconds. Minutes, sorry. I kind of, but I want to break it down because I'm also someone who's hungry for change. And that's why I, as soon as, and for some of you who don't know my story is that over 2 years ago, my husband passed away because he was sick for around a year, and it was already in the critical stage. And then I had to take care of him. But after he passed away, something in me just, you know, something in me clicked and said, I don't want to live the same way I was living before. I want to see things change. I can't do life the same way I was doing it and miss out because I already realized how much I missed out all those years, how much I've traded so many precious family time with my children, with my husband, just for work. And for what? So I realized I can't do that anymore. So I was so hungry for change that I literally looked at every online business available for me. Because definitely I wanted it online so that I can do it from the comfort of my home or anywhere where there's Wi-Fi. I knew that even though I was not a very tech savvy person, I knew that for a fact that if I do something online, I can be in a coffee shop and still work. I can be at home and still be able to work. That's my thing. And I tried so many things because I was so hungry for it. I was willing to do whatever it took at that point. And by the grace of God, he he led me to this digital business that has been such a blessing to my life. And that's why you are here watching me right now. And I'm able to share with you some of my journey and some of the things that I'm learning because of this business. It has grown me so much. I am such a different person from when I started. And for some of you who follow me, You've seen my post yesterday. I celebrated my second year um, anniversary in the business, and I am so grateful for it because I have never imagined to be enjoying online business this way. In the first things that I tried, and remember I told you I tried a lot of them in the online world, it was difficult, downright difficult because there was no mentorship, there was no coaching available for me, or it was just too expensive and I didn't have the resources at that point. And and then the Lord showed me this, so I am so grateful for that because to this day I get coaching, mentorship, training for the price of what? It's so cheap. It's the cheapest training available, but the most excellent one. That's what I can promise you if you want to partner with us. And I'm not trying to advertise at this point. I just want to tell you why I joined here instead of everything else that I looked at before. So I am grateful to God, and I just want to give back at this point because some of you are on that journey. Some of you are watching are also business owners. Some of you are trying out something, and you are not yet getting the kind of success that you want, and that's okay. But just make sure that you're hungry enough to see it through so that you can see, you can be able to unlock for yourself the success that was meant for you wherever you're at. If you're, especially if you're in business or whatever it is that you're doing, hunger for change, for success is a good thing. The Lord put that in our spirit, in our hearts. And that's why that verse is there. Okay. Now, one thing, when you're hungry for something, there are at least, you know me, I'm all about the three things. There are three components that I feel are very important to just put out there. First one is understand. Understand, because in Proverbs 16:20 it says, and this is another thing I've seen while reading Proverbs. So for those of you who are not reading Proverbs, read your Proverbs. It'll help you, especially if you're in business or you're working. It, so many golden nuggets there. It says there, the one who understands a matter finds success, and the one who trusts in the Lord will be happy. So, what goes before success? You have to understand it. Are you willing to understand what you're doing right now? Are you willing to do what it takes to understand what your business is all about? Are you willing to understand what it takes about your investment, about the time that you have to put in, about being persevering, being patient, persistent? Are you willing to understand that? Because some of us, we go through something, and I've seen so many people do this because I've done it. You put your money in it, you start on something, and then you don't follow through. You're not willing to understand it. Maybe that's why I wasn't successful in those things because I never took the time to understand it. But for me, the deal breaker was when there was no community to help me out, and it felt like I was just doing it on all on my own. That was a deal breaker for me because I'm used to church, I'm used to community, and when there's no community to support, it's difficult for me. So I would rather do something that has a community support, that has people that I can work with, so that it's more fun, and that's what I get here. Anyways, even if you're doing your business on your own, you still need to understand what your business is all about. You still need to understand uh, what it would take. And the more we understand our business, the more success we will have, because that's what it says here in Proverbs 16:20. I can't make it any clearer. And I think Solomon knows what he's talking about because he's very successful. He was the wisest man that ever lived. If if you're just talking about amassing wealth, I think he's got that in the bag. So we need to listen to what he says. He had to understand what it would take to be successful. And if we don't understand what we're doing, we don't understand our business, that's probably a key component of why we are not seeing more success. But let me just qualify that. Success doesn't mean you're always having good results. Part of that success is seeing all kinds of results that work and does not work. That's why it says, even what is bitter is sweet. Because every learning that we get, we should treat it as something that's sweet because we're getting closer and closer to our to unlocking the success that we want. It is still success because you are learning from it. It's failure when we don't learn from it. So that's very important. Sometimes we don't understand that. It takes us understanding that there will be times when we don't get it, when we are not when we don't know what we're doing, but we do what it takes to understand. So it doesn't work like this, so probably need to do this, probably need to change something or start all over again. That's okay. That's part of success. That's part of understanding. Ask anyone who cooks. They know I cook. I know what works and what doesn't work, especially when I'm cooking something. Oh, it doesn't taste good. What did I do? So I can't do that anymore. Or I bake something and it flopped. you know, it's not rising. You understand it and you remember that and you don't do that. You try something different. You experiment. That's what I meant by understanding what you're all about. What is in front of you, understand it. Do what it takes to understand it. Like for us and for all of my fellow digital business owners, we have a good training. We have one of the best training available. So when we are kind of stuck, just go back to the training. What is it that we do not understand in that training? That is our uh, weapon. That is our um, secret recipe. But we need to understand what that recipe is all about because we are the variable. Just because uh, it made somebody successful, we also need to find out what would make us successful using that recipe. So I hope that that makes it clear for anyone who's watching or listening to me. So that's the first one. Understand. You need to understand it. If you want to see change, if you want to see a breakthrough or success in anything, we need to understand. And we need to do what it takes to understand what's in front of us, what our business is all about, what the task is all about, what it takes. And then once we understand it, next question is, are we willing to discipline ourselves for it? It's funny because while I was meditating on this, I was reminded of no, it's not reminded. I watched this video. One of our young people, they're a couple, uh, what I would call my church children. They they have a daughter. Her name's Chloe, Joey and Riza, and they've posted a video of their daughter. Uh, she was trying to learn how to walk, and they posted different stages of her, her progression in walking because she's gonna turn one soon. And so, in that particular video, I saw a portion of it where she just kept falling, falling, falling. And while I was like, and I was meditating on this verse, right? And that's what the Lord said to me. See, you are hungry. How hungry are you for change? That even though you keep falling every time, you just keep going back up until you're able to walk it and be strong at it. It makes sense logically when it comes to kids. We're trying to train them to walk, to do things, to be more independent, to eat on their own. And yet, when it comes to something as important as business or task at hand, or something that needs to be done, that needs a big change, we cannot apply this. We are not hungry enough for it. You're not gonna tell your kid, okay, just don't try anymore. Don't try. Don't even try to walk because you keep falling. No, you're gonna tell him, just keep at it. Just keep at it. That's the same hunger we need to have when it comes to wanting change or a breakthrough in our lives or finding success, whatever it is. Okay, so it's just a good perspective. And the next thing is, are we willing to be disciplined for it? Are we willing to go through discipline for it? In 1 Corinthians 9:24 to 27, I'm just going to read it here because it's too long. It says, do you not know that in a race all the runners run and only one gets the prize? Only one. Run in such a way as to get the prize. That's what Paul says. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. And I think we understand this. We see the Olympics, all the athletes, and any other sport for that matter, they really go into strict training if they want to be champions, right? They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. And of course, Paul is talking about uh, making sure that we are running the race of our lives in Christ, that we discipline ourselves, that we do not allow ourselves to be distracted by all this, all these other things that do not really matter at the end of the day. And for me, that was kind of what happened after my husband passed away. It kind of like narrowed everything to like, this is the most important thing, and this is what I'm going to uh, uh, pursue for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna compromise my time anymore for things that don't matter. So that was me, hungry for that change. And so it says, therefore, he said, therefore I do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. No, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified from the prize, for the prize. So that's a wonderful illustration that Paul was saying. And in other versions of verse 27, 1 Corinthians 9:27, it says, I discipline my body and bring it into subjection, make it my slave. Are we willing to go through that discipline, change our schedules to accommodate what we need to do to understand, say, a side hustle, a business that we're doing, or or make our investment work for us? Are we willing to do that? And for whatever uh, goal that you might have, this applies. You need to understand what it takes. And once you understand what it takes, are you willing to go through that discipline? Yes, you understand it, but if we're not doing it, we are not allowing ourselves to be disciplined in our time, in our efforts, in our minds, because sometimes our minds can play tricks on us. It's not going to happen. We need to discipline our minds. And he says, bring it to subjection. And this is where our minds, our emotions, our soul. Remember what it says here? I told you it's about every, to a hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. In your soul, even though it's difficult, and discipline is not easy, it's going to be difficult. There are times when it's painful. I think I have a verse on that. Okay, let me just show this. Um, it says in Hebrews 12:11, no discipline is enjoyable. No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful, but afterward, there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. So, discipline is not easy. It's going to be painful. Are we willing to go through it? That even though it's bitter, because we are looking forward to that change, to that success, to that breakthrough, we take it like something so sweet because we can almost taste the victory because we know that we are on the right path. We're doing it. If you had a if you had someone who's so successful and you want that person to tell you what the secret is, I can tell you, even though the secret of that person is something so ridiculous and doesn't even make sense, you're going to do it because you are so hungry to have the same success that he or she has. And this is what the Word of God is saying. Sometimes it's not as easy, it's painful. But if we go through it, when we allow ourselves to be in that discipline, we there will be a peaceful harvest, okay, of right living for those who are trained this way. There's a harvest to it. Look forward to the harvest while you are in that discipline. And the last component, and I know I'm going a little over time. I don't care. Uh, you watch it, you don't watch it. I'm gonna share it. It says trust. So once you understand, you're willing to go through the discipline. You're doing everything that you need to do. And while you're allowing yourself to go through that discipline of doing whatever it takes, you are understanding more and you are getting more success. But while you're doing that, the last thing that will really seal it for everyone, especially if you are a faith person like me, is trust. You got to trust that it's not just what you're doing, that you are in partnership with someone who can make it happen for you. And that's the Lord. Be in partnership with Him. Trust Him. I mean, you're doing His principles. These are principles. I'm showing you biblical principles. And if you follow them, you are in partnership with the one who can make things happen for you. His name is Jesus. And He loves you so much. He's your first cheer leader saying, you can do this because I've already won it for you at the cross. And the rest is history. You just got to trust me. Go through, understand it, go through that discipline, and then trust me to make things happen for you because that's what it says in Proverbs 16:3. Commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed. In other version, it says, trust your work to the Lord and your plans will work out. And trust Him to the Lord. Okay, I've done everything, Lord. I'm doing it. I'm understanding it. Now I give it to you. I'm trusting you for it. Trust Him for the results. Be patient and allow the Lord to work in your circumstance, allow the Lord to work everything out in your favor because He will do it. You're using His principles. It is His greatest pleasure to show you that His principles work. So I hope that helps anyone who's watching, who's listening, and someone else will be listening later on. I'm not so sure if anyone's watching right now or commenting. Oh, yes, I have a few uh, people watching. Hello to everyone. Please comment where you're watching from and if you have any questions or if there are things that you want me to talk about. If I can, I will talk about them and show you biblical perspective on it because I want us to learn how to do business and be successful the biblical way, God's way. Okay, so enjoy your Saturday or your weekend wherever you're at. Tomorrow, Sunday, I hope, or those of you who are already on Sunday, please attend church. Be surrounded by a community of faith. It's going to help you and make you even more successful. God bless you and hope to see you soon. Bye for now.